So as all these things are happening in the U.S., the insane deportations, all the Trumpisms coming around, and the fabric of the country kind of being demolished as we sit here, uh, foreign countries are telling their citizens not to come to the U.S. because of all the crazy things that are going on over here these days. So today we're going to figure out 10 of those countries that are warning their citizens not to come to America.
I'm interested to see if they're going to actually mention anything about like Americans themselves, because a lot of people with green cards or with citizenship, as long as they weren't born in the U.S., also, it's like not advised to leave and come back right now.
Yeah. Like some people are getting arrested at the border and they are citizens that may look a little Hispanic or have a Middle Eastern Arabic last name, and they're getting detained at the border. It's madness. So I'm curious what countries this is. So let's jump into it right now.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, what's
Welcome
up?
back to the channel.
Hey.
Today, we're diving into something wild. 10 countries that are straight up telling their people, hey, maybe skip the US for now. Crazy, right? We're talking travel warnings,
Crazy.
border dramas, and some serious global shade. Why are these nations hitting the brakes on US trips? Stick around as we break it all down country by country. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and let's get into it.
From
First
what I've
up,
seen, like from Europe, not all European countries, but some European countries, it's like a 15 to 25% decrease in tourism for some of the places.
Wow, that's
Like it's a
significant.
lot. Some of them it's only like 2%, but for some countries that's a big drop in tourism. People do not want to come to the US.
Wow.
United Kingdom. The UK's Foreign Office updated its travel advice for the US in March 2025, warning Brits about strict entry rules. They're telling travelers to double-check visa or ESTA requirements because even valid documents might not guarantee entry.
Even
Why?
valid
crazy.
Reports
documents
of British
might not
citizens
guarantee
detained
entry. Wow, that is
We're living in
crazy.
the clown show. I mean, people with valid documents and court orders are being deported to foreign countries where they have dictatorships and they're put in slave prisons.
Yeah, that's quite the extreme situation there. The person did nothing wrong.
US borders for minor...
No. Didn't you see? He has MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles, dude.
True.
Definitely not
100%
fake.
proven.
visa issues, like overstays or unclear travel purposes, have spiked since Trump's immigration crackdown kicked in. The advisory doesn't call it a ban, but it's clear. Follow the rules or risk arrest. The UK sends about 4 million tourists to the US yearly, so this could dent that number. Some Brits are even canceling trips, fearing a hostile welcome. The tension might tie back to Trump's comments on European trade too, calling out the EU hasn't helped. For now, the UK's message is caution. Enjoy your trip, but have your paperwork in order, or you might be on the next flight home. Next,
Or
Germany.
to El Salvador.
The German Federal Foreign Office updated its U.S. travel advice this month, stressing that a visa or ESTA doesn't mean you're in the clear. They've warned that U.S. officials can deny entry at their discretion, no appeal allowed. This comes after
Crazy.
several German nationals were detained at U.S. borders in early 2025, some for past minor overstays or vague travel plans. Germany's not calling it a travel ban, but the tone's serious. Expect scrutiny. About 2 million Germans visit the U.S. annually, and this could shake that up. The advisory also hints at broader unease. Trump's hardline policies, like his two-gender stance, clash with Germany's progressive values, especially for trans travelers. Add in trade spats, and it's a perfect storm. Germans are being told to prepare for tough questioning and possible rejection. Travel's still on, but it's not the carefree trip it once was. Number 3 is
How
Canada,
could like
our
being
neighbors to the
trans
north.
and traveling that would be just a nightmare. I can't imagine that.
It would, yeah. I don't, especially to the U.S. A lot of countries in the Middle East, you probably won't even be allowed to go into.
Yeah,
Eesh.
but it's crazy that the U.S. also,
Yeah,
they made such waves and such movements, and then abruptly is turning their back to it. Nice.
now we have Canada, our neighbors up to the north that will soon be part of our country, according to our dear leader, Supreme
51st
Leader
state.
Elon Musk.
Canada updated its U.S. travel advisory, urging citizens to register with U.S. authorities if staying over 30 days. This follows a Vancouver woman's week-long detention at the border over a
Week?
visa mix-up. Canadian MP Charlie Angus
the-
even went viral pleading, avoid the U.S.
How can they arrest people from another country for a week?
The thing that's crazy, I don't know what exactly transpired, but like here in the Philippines, I overstayed my visa because there was a typhoon and all the offices were closed, and I overstayed it, and all I had to do was just pay a fee, and like that's it. And so some of these people are overstaying, and then they're getting detained for a week.
Yeah, they didn't even say it. She overstayed. It just said there was visa complications at the border.
Yeah,
What the heck was it? That's insane. And they're doing propaganda. Trump's making propaganda lies right now that Canadians are sneaking into America over the northern border.
Yeah, everyone wants to come in. It's so great.
I mean, it's fantastic.
if possible, calling it a tyranny under Trump. The advisory's practical: follow entry rules or face deportation, but the rhetoric's heated. Canada's worried about Trump's threats to annex them as the 51st state, plus border crackdowns hitting dual citizens hard. With millions crossing yearly, this could chill travel. Some Canadians are boycotting U.S. trips over politics, too. It's not a full warning yet, but the vibe's clear. The U.S. isn't as welcoming as it was, and Ottawa wants its people ready for a rougher ride south
Our
of the border.
closest friends.
Coming in at 4, Denmark. This Scandinavian country revised its U.S. travel advisory with a twist. It's specifically warning transgender travelers.
Nice hot
Why?
dog, dude.
The Trump administration's two-gender policy means passports with an X marker might get you turned away. Denmark's telling its citizens to contact the U.S. Embassy first if they're trans or non-binary. Beyond that, they're echoing others.
I'm assuming the US
Valid
doesn't
visas don't
have
guarantee entry and enforce.
That and in your passport, I'm
Not
assuming you can't.
anymore, at least. Now
Yeah.
that Trump has declared there's only two genders.
I wonder if Mr. Joe Brando, allowed that. Like, how
I
that works.
assume if he had to make it like his whole executive order thing, you would think that Brando did, but I don't know.
Enforcement's tight. Denmark's progressive
Brando's
stance
Joe
clashes with
Biden, by
US
the way.
shifts,
Yeah.
and this advisory reflects that tension. It's not a blanket don't go, but it's a red flag for a specific group. Danish tourists, about 300,000 yearly, might rethink plans, especially with horror stories of border detentions circulating. Add Trump's EU critiques and Denmark's caution makes sense. Travel's doable, but for some, it's a risk not worth taking right now. Fifth on our list is Finland. Like Denmark, Finland updated its U.S. travel advisory in March 2025, zeroing in on transgender and non-binary travelers. With Trump's policy recognizing only male or female genders, Finnish passports with X markers could lead to entry denials. The advice: check with the U.S. Embassy before booking. Finland's also warning about stricter border checks. Visas or ESTA approvals aren't sure thing anymore. This follows reports of Europeans, including Finns, facing unexpected detentions. Finland's
that
small but steady
happening? That's
flow
so
of U.S.
crazy.
tourists, around 200,000 yearly, might dip if this sticks. The advisory's not a full stop, but it's a heads up. The U.S. feels less predictable now. Tensions over Trump's EU stance and Finland's inclusive values add context. For Finns, it's about weighing the hassle against the trip. Caution's the name of the game. At number 6, France. The French government hasn't issued a formal
country is
U.S.
a
travel
clown
warning
show.
yet, but they updated guidance, urging citizens
How
to
the
be
heck?
vigilant.
These are all of these countries are like our historic allies. They've been our allies forever, and now people are being detained at the border.
So
What the?
the
I
thing
don't
that's
understand.
the thing that's so interesting to me is like, if countries like France and Germany, if people from them there are having a hard time getting into the U.S., what's it like for an Indian or a
Oh my gosh,
Iranian
horrible,
or
horrible, horrible.
Anyone like from Asia, Southeast Asia or South Asia? It's got to be like 10% chance to get in.
I flew in from South Korea, and it seemed like Koreans were having a hard time getting in. They were in like this back room, like dozens of people were back there getting questioned to get into the country.
Wow.
And Koreans are supposed to be our like close ally too, and it seemed like it was hard for them to get in. I just don't understand what this situation is. Nobody is going to trust the U.S. anymore when our country votes in people like Trump just regularly. It's bad.
Vigilant about entry rules. France is watching the trend. Detentions of Europeans at U.S. borders are up, and they're not taking chances. The advisory flags that even valid visas might
Wow,
not
look at
cut
that
it if
city.
U.S. officials
Beautiful.
suspect anything off. France sends over 1 million tourists to the U.S. yearly, so this matters. Some link it to Trump's EU trade jabs. France isn't thrilled with his screw the EU vibe. Plus, there's chatter about safety for LGBTQ plus travelers after U.S. policy shifts. It's not a don't go yet, but the tone's shifting. Travel blogs say French tourists are nervous about feeling unwelcome. For now, France says go, but go prepared. The U.S. isn't the open door it once was for less blues. 7th, New Zealand. New Zealand updated its U.S. travel advice, warning Kiwis that entry's no sure thing, even with an ESTA. The advisory cites tougher border enforcement, with risks of detention for minor slip-ups like overstays. This follows a few high-profile cases of New Zealanders turned back at U.S. airports. About 300,000 Kiwis visit the U.S. yearly, and this could slow that down. New Zealand's government isn't saying don't go, but they're blunt. U.S. officials have final say, no exceptions. Some tie
Power
this to
trippers,
Trump's
for
global
sure.
trade rhetoric. New Zealand's an ally, but not immune to tension. Social media is buzzing with Kiwis debating if it's worth the risk. Safety's not the issue, it's the unpredictability. New Zealand's message is clear: love the U.S., but pack patience and perfect paperwork, or you might be watching the Statue of Liberty from a deportation lounge. Number 8 is Australia.
Jeez.
Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs raised its U.S. travel advice, warning Aussies to expect rigorous border checks. Even with an ESTA or visa, entry's not guaranteed. U.S. officials can deny you for past overstays or unclear intentions. This comes after reports of Australians detained stateside, some for minor visa hiccups. Around 1.5 million Aussies visit the U.S. yearly, so this hits home. The advisory's not a ban, but it's a wake-up call. Trump's immigration push means business. Some Aussies are souring on U.S. trips, citing trade spats and a closed-off vibe. Safety's fine, but the hassle? Less appealing. Australia's still pro-travel, urging prep over panic, check rules, dot I's, cross T's. For now, it's
Weird.
about navigating a stricter system, not avoiding it. The U.S.
Well, I gotta say, this video is basically just saying the same thing for every single country, so we can kind of just skip in and
Yeah.
see the next country. So Ireland, same situations, I'm assuming. What do we have next? More Ireland. Netherlands, another close ally, of course.
I'm assuming
And
exact same reasons.
yeah. So just 2 more allies. It's just absurd to me. I mean, the US is going to fall from being like a diplomatic power in general because Trump has been elected twice now in the last 8 years, and all the policies that were made before Trump got shredded. And then Biden came in, made new policies, made new trade agreements with all these countries. Trump comes in again, shreds them. What are countries supposed to do?
Are you saying a businessman isn't a good diplomat?
No, it's almost like countries are supposed to work together and find things that mutually benefit both countries instead of just trying to make as much money as possible for your own country.
That's not going to maximize profits.
I know, because all these European countries already had tariffs on us. They're just reciprocal.
What was the thing? Oh, the thing I just saw was, I
was
don't
a
know
joke,
how
by the
true
way.
it was, but Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz, and the reason
Yep,
it
yeah, I
was
saw
never
that.
open was because it takes so much money to run, and it only holds like 300 people. And why would they do that after they cut like so many
Because he
public
likes
programs?
it. It looks cool, and he likes it. That's why. That seems to be what it all comes down to. If it looks cool and he likes it, he wants it. Like military parades on his birthday.
Is that literally not what like a child? How you treat a child? Like, oh, I like that. Give me.
I mean, he's acting like one of the crazy monarchs, like from history. Like that, they're like, oh, I want somebody to build a really big statue of me, bigger than all the other statues. Oh, I liked this thing. Let's get this thing going. Let's do a military parade on my birthday, guys. It's psycho. It's psychotic. We're living in a we're living in a crazy time period. I just don't understand, like, when are we going to snap back to reality, or is this the new reality?
Yeah, and that's why a lot of countries don't want to visit. And I'm sure, like, even though a lot of other countries, like we mentioned, the South Asia, the Southeast Asia, they're not doing like travel warnings, it's still the same things would apply. I mean, if you're coming
It's so
from,
hard for those people to go there already, go to the
yeah,
US. So hard.
I imagine the chances are getting even lower for anyone like from there.
Yes, definitely. Imagine people that want to just travel to the US from South America. They
Yeah.
probably just get denied instantly.
Imagine if you were a trans and gay person from like
Colombia, Guatemala.
yeah, from somewhere like that. I think you have literally like a 0.5% chance, and less if you have over $5 million or whatever the heck that visa was,
Yep. Yep.
the golden visa.
Man. I mean, it's getting worse. I don't know what we can do as just two dudes other than speak out about it here on YouTube to a mostly European audience. You guys, but thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Change.
Bye.
Goodbye.